Okay, trying again to see if people hear me. Did you know? If you put in your microphone backwards, it won't work? Just because I'm choking on a carrot right now doesn't mean that they're winning. Also, I never put it in the right way the first time, and that's entirely 12 jokes in a trench coat. Alright, hello everyone. You may have noticed some things have changed. We now have frogs, because frogs are good frog friends. You will also notice another very large frog in background. His name is Bean. He is a very good frog. I was a little bit late because I was fiddling around with learning how to freshly install a new theme into Streamlabs. So, let me actually find the artist who did this. One second. Let's plug the artist. Always plug your artists. I've been going through and looking at different Twitch overlays for so bloody long. Like way too long. And I finally settled on this one. There's another one I'm going to pick up later as well. Because it is more Halloween-y themed, and it's actually the same artist who did all the title cards down below in the About section. But here is the artist for our new overlay. Thank you, Tsuki Marine. And I'll be sure to update the Art About section to tag all the artists that I use. You will also notice a couple small changes. We got a couple emotes now, because it's only been months, so we got 2 of them that are given to us by Twitch, which are the hype and the love, because they're cute. We're going to keep them. Yes, your channel points are now shroomies, or mushies, I suppose. And then there are 2 new emotes that you guys can use. These are sub-emotes. Pumpkin cat, because cats and pumpkins are amazing and beautiful and awesome, and 2 milk cartons. And if you're in the know, you're in the know. Thank you, Jane, for the hydrate as I continue to die on carrots. Yeah, it is a title and a name that will haunt me till my dying days, so I may as well just embrace it. Maybe if more people come to hang out, I'll regale the stories of MCMC. But I don't need to tell you, Dane. You already know these things. You don't need to know. You lived it. You were there the entire time. Alright, so once again, here we are again. Fallen into pieces. We are back working on the zine piece for the Awakening Trio zine. You have a thirst for knowledge? Well, wait. Much like a man's voice coming out of a crosswalk, I'm gonna tell you to wait. You can really tell who lives in the West or the Intermountain West or has any of those crosswalks nearby by if someone says wait too often, if they also return with wait, 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 wait. And if you don't have a man that tells you when to wait before crossing the street, I'm sorry. I wish you did. It's a joy, one of the few joys in life. So yeah, this will be my piece for the Awakening Trio zine, which is a Fire Emblem themed zine. There's a link to that. Are they getting rid of hosting? Will there be no more, I Love My Friends Host Club? Why? Why are they getting rid of hosting? I thought it was something people actually really liked. Suggested channels, but not hosting. I wonder if it has to do with, like, questionable content? Shareholders? Something, I'm sure. So we can help that to focus in better. Yeah, that'll do. That is so weird. Like, hosting has been a staple of Twitch for so long. You don't know what you got till it's gone, I guess. Let's see. This layer for a bit. It's funny too, because I spent all that time setting all those alerts back up just to find out that I didn't even need to set up a host alert. Seems a bit silly to me. Did it work though? No, I didn't see a notice come up. I set up the alert box and everything. Maybe they've already disabled that from showing if someone hosts. I wonder. Test widgets. Test host widget. I have no idea. I assume it played my test on stream. It doesn't even show in the feed that you're hosting. So I wonder if they've already, like, quietly gotten rid of things. Yeah, as the night goes on, we'll find out if my... if I set things up correctly or not. No one knows these things. Least of all me. Any announcements I can think of? I feel like I've talked about it till I'm blue in the face, but the Boise Comic Art Fest is this weekend. And that is... hosting is different from raiding. Well, but there's a different... there are two different slots, one for host and one for raid. I don't know. I'm just gonna assume I set up the Steam poorly somehow. It's just easier that way. But yeah, Boise Comic Art Fest is this weekend, so if you live in the Boise metropolitan area and you are looking for a thing to do, that is a thing you can do. The public part of it is Saturday and Sunday. Friday is technically part of BCAF, but it's like Educators and Librarians Day, so they do a bunch of workshops and stuff over at the museum, which is cool. And I'll be there running a game of Honey Heist, and who knows what else, because they have not told us. We're just a couple days before, and no one has their schedule. So, like every other convention, it's working as intended. Buff this out a bit. And as always, I'm new to digital drawing and painting, so if you know things I don't and you want to give helpful tips, by all means. I am listening. Aside from that, not too much new going on or changed from last week. My plan is to kind of make Wednesday my main day, and then if I have time in the future to do more Sunday streams. but that's going to be tied to several different factors. Hello, Mike. Yes, it is a spice stream with overlay upgrades, and also the stream where we find out how many things I did wrong when trying to set up all the overlays. So if things don't work, we're just gonna assume it's because of me. Nope, that's not what I want. Hey, the sound worked. Aw, thanks, Mike. Yay, sound worked and the alert worked. Thank you. The real question is chat actually showing up in the chat box on screen? Not that you see? Oh, I see it. Maybe it's just not staying on long enough. It does, okay. JK! Yeah, it probably goes away really quick. Here. 1 second. Let's see if I can time that out longer. Let's see if we can make that. We'll try that. We'll see if it'll linger longer on screen. I can toggle it so it always stays up. Yeah, I didn't have time to set those up. And I'm also kind of deciding if I guess I should use those for those actual purpose. Because it's supposed to track, like, new follower and who gave money and all of that, which is cool and useful. But, like, to steal a Dane-ism, you know, people donating and doing things like that is appreciated but never required. And I don't want people to assume it is because they see the, you know, incentivized whatevers. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just a bad capitalist. These are all very possible. No one knows. Least of all me. Nope, hate that. Let's go back to this guy. Start there for now. Totes required. It's not required. Don't lie to the good people. Also, how's your night going, Mike? Did you, do the Death Knight starting zone yet and get your mount? Pretty okay. Yes, and I hated every minute of it. Fair. Good thing I remember the original quest because there's no guidance whatsoever. Yeah, I don't know. I don't hate the lack of guidance per se. It was funny hearing Dane do it and be like, God, there's like nothing. There's no way of knowing where everything is, and miss the guidance. Yeah, you definitely notice it first thing once you're in there. You're like, oh God, I have no idea where to go. The map says east, so I have to read my map and figure out where east is. Definite thing. game is mechanically better in retail. It is definitely, when you talk about stylings for modern video games and how much expectations and things have changed, nothing will show you that difference faster than World of Warcraft. Like, it's a huge, huge switch. Like, there's still a lot of things in the classic experience I tend to enjoy. And, like, I feel very comfortable arguing that classic Warcraft, excuse me, is definitely more of a cozy game than it is an action game. Because nothing in the game is quick. You get there when you get there. And you're here for the journey, not the destination. Not even a little bit the destination. So yeah, it's a much different beast. It is so much slower. It really is. What's nice is I got in at the end of them selling the Burning Crusade pack before it switched over. So it's half off, right? So I was able to start with a boosted character because, good God, I was like, do I have it in me to level all the way up again just to get to Wrath content? So I was already thinking about buying a character boost because, like, I ain't got that kind of time. But thank God with the boost it also came with at least the first step of mounts and riding. Because I played about a week or so before it switched over to pre-patch Wrath. And in that week, you learn a lot about where we've been and how far we've come. Because it's just so much different. And it also was a good reminder why Hellfire Peninsula was where all my characters have gone to die. Nothing's changed, man. That zone is just way too big. And seeing how mobs are coded differently for their movement patterns and all of that is also crazy. Because every mob has... It's not like retail, where mobs have kind of like a really set path or area where they're in. Like... The mobs in Burning Crusade, in particular, got places to go, and they are going all over the map. So help them, God. Like, you can think you're safe, and the next thing you know, there's a boar from about 5 miles away who just found you and decided to wreck your day. It's so much different. Hellfire has to be the most painful. I think that was the starting zone, you know? Like, this was the one they're like, let's get people pumped with this, and like, whew. That's a rough start, fam. It's a very rough start. And then finding out you have to go into, like, was it Hellfire Citadel to finish the zone out, and you're like, you know what? Do we have to stop the Burning Legion? Because I just kind of want to die. I don't... Let's just let them have it. They've made this so painful. I don't want to be a hero anymore. We'll just let this one go. Just let it go. Man, they can have it. They earned it, you know? parts forever. Aw, Tangle's here. Hi, Tangle. Hellfire Citadel I liked well enough as a dungeon. I more enjoyed the fact that there was rare tameable pets inside the dungeon. That was the most important part to me. Shocking no one who understands how I play Warcraft. Also, I think just because, like, I was never a live player when BC was live, that the importance was probably very lost on me. Just entirely missed me. Just fine, you know. Nothing's changed. Still kind of missed me. Life just be like that sometimes. All hail the Glow Cat, yes. He is best cat. You gotta get exalted with Thrallmar. No one has to get exalted with Thrallmar. I don't even know what Thrallmar gives you aside from suffering. Probably some really cool mounts, knowing my luck. Like, I've never completed any of the, whatchamacallits. There are very few reputations from BC that I actually have done. Like, I know someday when I start working on that otter mount for collections in Dragonflight, I know I'm going to end up doing the Shatari Skyriders because they have like 1 million mounts and it'll definitely help me. But like, I don't want to go do Outland dailies just to get some sky flaps. I'm sure you could do most of the day with Thanksgiving, but oh, that's a good point. Thanksgiving is coming. As is winter, I am told. Let's go to... For whatever reason, that one decided to overlay on top of that. I don't know why. Oh man, so many layers. Okay, we're getting to that point in the... the whole kit and caboodle where you're like, oh god, there's so many layers now. Actually, let's go back to here, because I want... What layer are you on? Oh no! Oh no, what layer did I do that on? Not that layer. Oh no! That explains everything. Okay, okay, okay. Welcome to the part of the story where I figure out what layer I put something on when I should not have put it on that layer. Try to keep your layers clean, kids, because then you run into problems. And you're left here wondering, oh god, what have I done? Oh god, how did I get here? And the days go by. Yep. That's exactly what you did. You put them on the wrong layer. Like, I'm sure people who draw digitally, professionally, also make the same mistake on occasion. But, it doesn't make you feel great when you realize you've done that. about the rest of these? Did at least the rest of these end up on the right layer? Yes. Okay, cool. It was just those 3. Not the worst. That's a fairly easy recovery. Thankfully. Curious as to what weird purple shape is underneath you. You know what? No. I seem to have stopped caring. It's from this layer. Okay, we're just gonna erase that so we can start over. Yeah, professionalism. Used to be able to just grind the sky flap rep by killing Aarakocra? Oh. I thought at a certain point the reputation grinds that required killing certain mobs capped out. Like when you got to friendly or revered, it was like, meh, you're done. Maybe that's just locked to later expansions. Because I know they've made so many changes to how all of that works over time. For a while it was like, you can only do this if you do these dungeons, and then it's gonna cap you out, and then, oh boy, no dungeons for you. Okay, now let's see about not need to do it in a decade. Some reps do have that cap where you need to switch to dungeon and raiding mobs. This one doesn't, if memory serves. Yeah, you're probably right. It's another one of those things that has changed a lot in time when you think about reputation and even just reputation rewards. Like the fact that Paragon caches from Legion are just sort of like a staple now. It's pretty nice. I do like Paragon caches. Because it does feel like you're actually earning and doing something if you're going to be doing the same 5 million daily quests all the time. Definitely feels more like important. It always feels good when you get like something really cool that you weren't expecting from the RNG chest. keep seeing more and more people I follow on Twitter getting beta keys for Dragonflight, and I'm kind of like, man, I want one because I want to play like with the Drakthir, and I want to see the character creation mode a bit more. But at the same time, I'm like, would I really like spend the time playing it right now? Because I don't necessarily want any story spoilers, and I know like I've seen a couple. Like that's just life on the internet, right? If you're on the internet, there will be a spoiler owl. That's just that's just a hard fact truth. But I wonder like how much I want to know before going into it. That's kind of one of the hardest parts about modern life, like, is figuring out how much, if any, of like pre-live story content you want. It's such a weird problem to be like, well, I do want to know because I like the story, but also like I know it's not going to change much between now and when it launches. So, how much do I really want to engage in this before finding out? When I do get beta access, I only do it for checking mechanics between this version and the next. Can I do solo old raids, etc.? Ooh, yeah, that's always an interesting question too, to like know when you have power creeped enough to have a leisurely time trying for those mounts that you wanted that you didn't get. Or the transmog you wanted that you didn't get. That's another weird thing to think about when you're playing old versions of Warcraft, is like, oh yeah, there's no transmog. Like, before Wrath pre-release, there was no tab to keep your mounts. You kept them in your bags or in your bank, and you liked it. Even just seeing the changes between those three incarnations of the game is incredible. And they cost so much gold, people only have... Yeah, I made a fresh player mistake because I got excited, like, oh, I can pick up a mountain, you know, add this to my mounts tab, and I don't know how I did it, but I bought the same mount twice, and you don't really get refunds when you do that. It's not really a thing. You just kind of eat the gold loss and cry a lot, because that wasn't cheap in the first place. Go to here. I've been playing lately has been some form of Warcraft. Like, I have the newer Fire Emblem Warriors game, the Three Hopes, and I freaking love it. It's really well done. It feels a lot like it's building up on the systems from Three Houses, but just that brain space of feeling like you have the time or the capacity to mentally think through your strategies and get through that kind of game. Like, I've been defaulting a lot into like Stardew and Warcraft because they're games where you can always find something to do, and Stardew is a lot less overwhelming than thinking about starting up Animal Crossing again. Stardew Craft. Yes, it's all about war farming. So basically I just go back to Half Hill and Miss Pandaria and zone out and farm some crops that no one wants anymore. Like, no lie, getting your own farm in Pandaria was a lot of fun for me. Like, it was a pain in the ass because a lot of the things are reputation grind to unlock them. But I thought it was cool because, like, you always go from, like, citadel and fortress to your next fortress and citadel, and now you're in a cave, and now you're in an outpost, and you're always in, like, places of war. But to have an opportunity to be like, yeah, this is your farm now. You know, just go make some cabbages or something. Enjoy yourself. Just, you know. You got a dog on your farm. You like dogs? Yeah. This is your dog now. His name's Dog. You'll find him in every other expansion. He will be your loyal dog companion. I don't know. I thought it was fun. I do kind of wish they'd done more with that for the people like it. Yeah. Do miss Pandaria. Don't miss Siege of Morgamore. Yeah, I know there are mounts in there that I think would be fun to have. The only time I ever step foot into Siege is when it's Christmas, because that one boss throws Christmas wreaths on the ground, and it makes me feel festive. Exploding Christmas wreaths get me in the mood for Christmas. And I blame National Lampoon for that one. Let's actually make that more transparent. Yeah, I'm hoping once BCAF is done and once a few other things in life are done, I'll have the mental capacity for not just Stardew Valley and Warcraft the game. Especially because there's like so many games coming out. Including just a ton of farm games, which I don't know what I'm going to do with my life. I do love them farm games. I've also been like a little bit disappointed in the past couple Story of Seasons, which is weird for me. I don't want to bore people with my farm game soapbox, but I can and I will. Yeah, that's too many lines. Blip. It's your channel, talk about whatever you want. Yeah, but I like talk to myself all the time, man. I don't always have friends hanging out with me. It's different. It's entirely different. Should probably finish highlighting his pants. That seems like a good idea. Like, here's the thing. So, there was the great breakup between Harvest Moon, the game, and its Western publisher, which is, I think it's still Natsume, who owns the copyright for Harvest Moon, the name. And when that great split happened, Natsume started making their own Harvest Moon games under the name. Whereas the actual developer of the OG Harvest Moons started publishing under Story of Seasons. And for the longest time I was like, yeah, you know, the Harvest Moon games, the new ones are okay, but don't really bother. Pick up Story of Seasons instead because it's more, you know, probably the content and the feel that you're looking for when you think about these types of games. And for the most part, that was true for a long time. But the last Story of Seasons on Switch, which was Pioneers of Olive Town? So it was like Story of Seasons POOT was the the acronym. They should have known that was a bad idea to begin with, based off that alone. But anyways, so they went through all of that. They developed a new game for Switch, and what I didn't realize at the time was that the actual internal director of the game had changed. So it's kind of like a Hayao Miyazaki and his son Miyazaki situation, where every once in a while in Hayao Miyazaki's career, he was like, I'm through, I'm done, I'm retiring, and there must always be a Miyazaki working on a Ghibli film. So people are like, well, okay, hey, your son can do it. And then whatever his son made would like be so horrible to Hayao Miyazaki, he'd come out of retirement. Like every time. Like it's just happened again with that the CGI Ghibli film. So it was one of the directors, their son, who took over the last Story of Seasons, and it wasn't great. It just wasn't. It had some good ideas. It really did. But the main issues all came from like, there was latency issues, there was loading issues, and people, myself included, thought it was a huge step back in quality of the game, not only from how it looked, but how it operated. Including the fact that, like, yeah, there was romanceable relationships in the game, but the dialogue never changed if you were married, and, like, your spouse would never talk to you. Like, it was this really weird, like, kind of dystopian situation. And, like, to the team's credit, they went back and they took a lot of the feedback from people and made a lot of updates and changes to the game because of that. So, like, it's always good to listen to your audience. You know, we've seen that with Blizzard and Warcraft development as well, that typically when you listen to your audience, people are typically pretty happy with what's going on. I wonder if I want this to be brown instead. And so yeah, to the developers' credit, they went out and they're like, all right, let's change these things. We want people to be happy. They added in, you know, the fact that you can actually talk to your spouse once you're married. Because a lot of people are like, well, why should I marry anyone in this game because then they like just stopped talking. It was the weirdest thing. They just stopped talking to you. You just didn't matter anymore. It's very weird. And so there were 2 announcements yesterday on the Story of Seasons front. And the first one was a remake of It's a Wonderful Life, which is one of the weirdest farming games I think I have ever played in my entire life. I'm gonna double check to see if there was 2. I'm pretty sure there were 2. Story of Seasons. In the news, please. Or maybe I'm thinking of Rune Factory getting 2. Maybe it is just A Wonderful Life. Yeah, I think it is. I didn't go through the whole direct yesterday. I still haven't done that yet. I want to. It's just, 40 minutes long. And I've spent 40 minutes just watching the Zelda trailer on repeat, but more on that later. So It's a Wonderful Life is a very strange Harvest Moon game because how do I explain this? It's the only Harvest Moon game I can think of where it's canon that you should die. And okay. So the point of it was to make you feel like you were actually living, this life, that you're actually going through life. And that episode in Rick and Morty where Morty doesn't realize he's in this fake life simulation video game, and he comes out of it, he's like, I had a wife and I had kids and I died and it was beautiful and take me back. That's kind of Roy, yeah. I love Roy. That's kind of the experience they were trying to make with this game. And as far as the fan community goes, you either love them or you hate them. I think they're interesting little thought mechanics. Because there is always that haha, time doesn't move, no one dies sort of situation in a lot of farm games. Especially ones that let you, have children, as it were. And it's very interesting to think about, why isn't time moving? Am I causing these people to live in a weird rift where time can't move forward for them? What's going on here? And I know a lot of people joke about that in the Stardew Valley community, that you're actually a curse, a blight that's happened to Pelican Town because it's great for the old people because no one can die, but it's weird because everyone's stuck being, the ages they are, and you can turn your children into doves, but your children will never grow up past the toddler stage, even if you're on year 20 of your farm. It's very weird, right? So the whole point to It's a Wonderful Life is you go through your first year, you find someone, you like them, you get married, you fall in love, yada yada yada, and you have a kid. And so every year you complete in the game, you actually watch that kid grow up. I already skipped past you because I didn't want this song to play. Go away. Thank you. So you watch the kid grow up and you watch your character grow old, and I think it actually does time you out by year 5 or year 10 where your original character actually does die, and you have the option of playing a couple years as the child character that you made. And what I don't remember is whether or not the other people in town also have kids, or if you're weirdly the only person who has a child in this game and now they're stuck with your farm and your legacy and not knowing what to do about any of these. So it's it's a fan favorite for a lot of people because they liked that lived experience, which is cool. It's totally fine. For me, I stopped playing it because I didn't know when I started that you had to be married by the end of year 1. I had no idea that was a thing. And I get through, I'm like, I'm having a good time. I just saw, excuse me, all the seasons I wanted to see, and suddenly the game just ends. And I forget what that end panel is like if you fail to get married, but it basically says, you failed to find someone to love you, so you lived out all your days as a bachelor, never experiencing a greater joy in life. And I'm like, what? Fuck this. Like, I was so affronted. I just put it down and walked away. That and the bachelorettes are cute. The bachelors are not. They're not great choices. So your 3 options of marriageable candidates in It's a Wonderful Life if you're playing as a girl was an Elvis wannabe, a bona fide hippie, and the most boring generic character I think I've ever seen in my life. There's just no good option. But, with new games come new possibilities, and maybe they'll add some things to it that don't just murder you if you're not married because you're an old maid and you failed in your one mission in life, that kind of stuff. But what I find most interesting about it is in looking at it, because it's a remake, right? So It's a Wonderful Life and the girl version of that game both came out GameCube era. They're GameCube era games. And I find it very interesting that in a lot of respects, I feel like the GameCube version of the game looks better than the Switch version. In watching the trailer, I kind of see some of the same issues I saw with Pioneers of Olive Town, where you see a lot of frame rate slow down, and you see systems aren't functioning the way they should. And yeah, I think just graphically, it just looked better on the GameCube? I don't know. I'm hoping I'm wrong here. And for the people who really love that game, it's awesome. And for people who will pick it up and fall in love with it, it is also awesome. I'm not sure if it's... I'll pick it up eventually, or I'll probably just check it out from the library and see if I like it before deciding if it's one I actually need. But yeah, it's a very interesting... I get why they picked that one to remake, but I'm also still a little bit of all the games, you didn't just pick Magical Melody, which was the superior GameCube game. Why didn't you just pick Magical Melody? It's the superior GameCube game. You should always pick Magical Melody because it's the superior GameCube game. So yeah. So it's very odd for me to look at the Story of Seasons games right now and be like, you know what? Maybe the Harvest Moon games will be better this round. I don't know. But there's a lot of farmish games coming out, so... There's the Stella Glow, Stella Luna, Harvest Noel, that Square Enix one, whatever it's called. I don't remember the name. The one where between every season you have to fight to make sure not everyone just dies. Which I think that'll be an interesting take on the genre. That in any game that can mix farming with combat, I am 10,000% already in line for. I really think it's a fusion that works well. Which is why I'm excited to see that Rune Factory 3 is getting a remake. I actually never really played that one. That one was a Wii era game, and I didn't really have access to a Wii at the time, so it's not one I ever really got to play. I heard it was good. Rune Factory 2 is still might be my favorite Rune Factory, just because of the story. And okay, I'm gonna sound hypocritical here for about 5 seconds. Because I love the Rune Factory 2 story because your main character dies and then you have to take over as your child character. Harvestella, that's it. Harvestella, Luna, Glow, the Stellaloon, Adoon. It's a thing. So yeah, in Rune Factory 2 it worked really well that you died and your kid took over because you unlocked a whole second half to the game. Because the entire game you are living in a world at war. So you're dealing with these very interesting consequences of your character disappears exploring a dungeon, or I can't remember if they disappear exploring a dungeon or if they just straight die to the enemy. Like, something definitely happens. It's been a while, so I don't really remember. Oops, that's not what I want at all. And it's just super cool because it changed so much of how you handled the game. And you know, when you're settling down and getting married in that game, your first playthrough, especially, you have no idea that this twist is going to happen. Your child character, a lot of their abilities and classes and how well they'll fight is determined in large part by who you chose to marry. So the fact that suddenly you're like, oh god, what stats does my baby have? Oh, did I give him a heal spell? Like, it was just very interesting mechanic that I enjoyed a lot. I think just because it was more story driven and felt very important, as opposed to the way A Wonderful Life handles it, where it's like, well, you're old, congratulations. You can now shove off to the great farm in the sky. Watch your son run it into the ground. It was just more satisfying, in my opinion. But I'm excited that they're also working on yet another Rune Factory project, because it took so long for Rune Factory 5 to exist. Were you my dad in that game? I'll be your dad, Sonny. Time for you to shove off to the great old farm in the sky. And I did enjoy Rune Factory 5 quite a bit. I don't feel like I got super duper deep into it, because at a certain point it just felt very samesies, which can definitely drag down momentum and wanting to progress, because there's only so, like, yes, it's a farm game, but there's only so many days of just farming you can do. You need other things to do. Which in large part is why I think Stardew Valley has the staying power that it does. Yes, there's farming, but there are like 10 different dungeons in that game that help break that up. So yeah, I enjoyed the new Rune Factory. I think they did a lot of things very well. I think it was a very good, like, callback to the series. But there's a lot of systems that I would like to see them kind of clean up and see them work on and refine. Which part describes your life pretty perfectly? Sorry, I was rambling while coloring. Is it wondering what stats the child has when shit hits the fan? I feel like that's an RPG universal. Oh god, what stats does my baby have? Do they know Curaga? Anything? Oh god, help. Actually, let's go here. Nope, nope, this one. That's the one I wanted. Just gonna lighten up that knee. Whoops. What part of that? Clipping layer, friend. Clipping layer. Thank you. By the way, a clipping layer just means that it will only draw or color on the layer that's nestled beneath it. So it's a great way to color inside the lines without having to worry too much. Back to the plates. Let's see, what other farmish games were announced? There's Stella Luna Crazy Rave Party Glow. The 2 Rune Factories. Story of Seasons. Oh, and that like Fae Farm looking one? Fae Farm, I think is just what it's called, which looks very interesting. It looks like it's all based around cooperative play, which could either work really well or peter out really fast, because the problem with co-op games is you always have to have someone to play co-op with you, which is kind of a bummer. But I think that one looked more aimed at like young kids, but it could still be quite fun. Kid games can still be quite fun, you know. Okay, so this guy needs... But yeah, most importantly, for me, the Nintendo Direct announcements yesterday that I'm looking the most forward to. Zelda. Dear God, Zelda. I started watching theory, reaction, and lore videos again last night. Because it's been, you know, 3-ish years since the first trailer came out for that. So it's fun to go back and re-watch the prior trailers and see what's been hinted at or what's been changed around already. There's some interesting theories going around as to who figures are shown in the new trailer especially. And I think it'll be a great time, and I really hope I have some extra PTO around that time when it comes out, because no one's going to see me. I am quitting my job, I am leaving, no one's going to see me ever again. I am off on a Grand Hylian adventure, goodbye world. I have to save Hyrule again. That's just how it's gonna be. I think a couple of the more interesting theories I've seen about the game, like, I don't even feel like this one's a theory, I feel like it's kind of like confirmed, but I forgot there's a bunch of ruins scattered around Hyrule when you play Breath that are attributed to a culture called the Zonai, and they use that very sort of Mesoamerican look to them, and there's like an old temple you can go into, and there's some areas in the northern provinces that you can explore where you find these structures everywhere, just all over Hyrule. Like, you kick a rock, you found another one, congratulations. But there was no information given about them during the course of the game. And even in, I think it's like Creating a Champion book, they're like, these mysterious people existed tens of thousands of years ago and then disappeared. And he's pissed off in the woods and we never saw them again. So I think it's very, very obvious that a lot of the structures and things and just the style of the reliefs in the trailers are based around this particular group of people who we've never heard anything canonically about. So I think that'll be very cool and interesting to see what they actually do with that. And how many seeds they've actually been planting along the way to build up to what the story is going to be. What are they going to do with rehydrated Ganon? What are they going to do with Super Princess Zelda? There's a lot of things to work with there. And I'm excited to see what they do with it. Also, really, really unreasonably excited that there's a new theater rhythm game coming out. Yeah, there's a lot of things they can play with on this. Especially with it having such a long development cycle, that typically those things don't just happen with Zelda Team unless they're really cooking something up. They tend to really take their time with these things if it has to do with story or mechanics or new hardware. Like, I am honestly surprised that it wasn't announced that there's like a new version of the Switch being released around the same time as the new Zelda. Because 9 times out of 10, when a mainline Zelda game is delayed, a big part of that has to do with the fact that they're preparing to launch it on newer software. So like how Twilight Princess was a dual release between, was it the GameCube and Wii? And then there was another one that was a dual release between Wii and Wii U. And then of course Breath of the Wild was both a Wii U and a Switch release. It was never just on Switch. So with this being the longest development cycle between mainline Zelda titles, I just assumed that they were obviously going to be like, and now, introducing the Switch Super Pro. It comes with 2 screens. And Joy-Cons that still drift. Like, I legitimately thought that was going to be one of the announcements. Just a giant 3DS. I would buy it. I love the 3DS. 3DS is still such a good console. I'm a real big fan of it. And yeah, speaking of 3DS, a new theater rhythm that they're saying is going to be like the final theater rhythm, but also they said the last one was going to be the final theater rhythm, so I'm not sure that they're being quite honest there. I will be interested to see how it handles on the Switch, because theater rhythm was really... Well, okay, first off, the new theater rhythm is supposed to be PS4 and Switch. Secondly, the original theater rhythm games were really developed with the 3DS in mind, because your 2 modes of play was button mode and also using the touchscreen with the stylus. And while you do have a touchscreen on the Switch, it is not the same function as the 3DS touchscreen was. It is quite a bit different, especially when you think about a rhythm game application, because the The 3DS theater rhythm would have you use your stylus and move it in a direction at the same time you were hitting a button or doing whatever you needed to do for that command. And yeah, I don't know how they're gonna work that with the Switch software. I'm still gonna get it. I'm still gonna love it. I am slightly daunted when they say it contains 380 some odd songs because oh my god, that's so many. And I went looking for the pre-order last night on the Square Enix site because they said if you get the digital deluxe, you get all the DLC for free plus like 20 other some odd tracks to play that you can only get by buying the deluxe version. But they only had the standard version listed for purchase, so I wonder... I guess I could check the Switch shop and see if after the Direct they listed the game and if you can go ahead and just purchase the digital deluxe that way. Because it seems weird to announce like you can get a digital deluxe version of this game, but also we're not going to tell you how to get it. You have to figure it out yourself. And we're not going to list it on our site, so you have to figure that out yourself too. Congratulations. Got to figure out a lot of things by yourself. Yeah, I legitimately did not think they would be bringing that one back. I thought that was of the 3DS era, never to be seen again. What did you just clip? Oh, Switch Super Pro Pro. It's gonna happen. Super Saiyan God Super Switch Saiyan Pro with 12G service. It's real. It's my tinfoil cap. And I'm still not entirely convinced that there aren't gonna, like, come out before Zelda's release and be like, by the way, did you know? You can buy the regular version, or you can buy the Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Waffle Maker 5000 Switch. It makes you breakfast every morning to get you ready for your adventures. Don't you need that link? Of course you do. You can't say Princess Zelda on an empty stomach. I mean, I'd eat waffles made from a Triforce waffle maker, I'm just saying. I would eat waffles in many different shapes, actually. More of a pancake person, but I love breakfast, so I won't discriminate. Also, the next time you hear me say, oh, I'll just make a magical fantasy library for this submission, just slap me. Slap me, sit me in the corner, and tell me to think about what I just said. It's like, Brittany, I know you want to do this. I know you like books too much. That's okay. But maybe, just maybe, don't make a magical greenhouse library for something that's a timed submission. Maybe just don't, you know? Just don't. Just don't do it. Just don't. Just don't. It's not worth it. What about a magical library? But what if you did? No, don't let me do it. At least not for a little bit. Because this is just so much work. I know there's a function on each of these Procreate files where you can be like, tell me, Procreate, how long have I been working on this piece? I don't want to know. I just don't want to know. Don't tell me this information. I cannot know this information. If I know this information, I will be sad. That's all there is to it. So don't tell me. I don't need to know. Know it all. I feel like I've been sitting here just highlighting leaves for a million hours. Do they still frolic in the sun out there? Drawing outlines around leaves. Do they still dance? Do they sing of the good times and the bad? Do they drink a whiskey drink? Do they drink a vodka drink? Maybe. How many years have passed since I began my solitude? I need to know. Just do it like this. It's so small no one will notice anyways. The grand scheme of things, no one will know if these lines were straight. They'll never know! And you won't tell them, audience. You won't tell them at all. You don't know if you're straight half the time? Pretty sure you're kinda straight. But I mean, hey man. You do you. We're talking about sitting. I never sit straight. I feel like I'm always like leaning to the side. Or gremlin sitting in a way that no one should healthily do. Oops. No, don't like those. blue. Not there, there. That's not what I want. I want it to be gray, just like a hit of blue. Like this, a cool blue, as opposed to a warm. Posture check, come on. Do you know why koi always travel in groups of 4? I do not know. Is it because they need a posture check? It's a crazy defense mechanism to protect from predators. Koi A, B, and C travel in one direction. Oh, and the other one is the decoy. Get out. That's a good one though. That's a solid dad joke. That's what we call an A+ dad joke. You can hear more A+ dad jokes from D and Dane tomorrow night on his channel, as he streams with your 2 internet dads. Your 2 other internet dads. Jazzy Smooth and Ashwood Audio. There we go. That's the plug. Go there for bad dad jokes. It's very important. I feel like this music's way too enthusiastic for what's actually happening on the screen right now. It's like, be sure to join the robot rave. We're coloring in some windows. Appreciate the internet for that one. Dane, you know I don't have a chatbot. You know I don't know how to set up a chatbot. I warned you at the start of this, there are no commands. You can't get into a shoutout war here. There is no space for you to have a shoutout war. You can type it into chat as much as you want, but there's no space for a shoutout war. The ain't nothing. Doesn't matter how many times you type it. Besides, you should save all your trolling for Bro's stream on Friday. You don't have any D&D that day, so you can just save up your gremlin mode for then. And lo, it will be good. What is a Spice and Rose bot? Did you make a bot? Did you make a system that sounds like it's a bot? Because there is no bot. Are you creating fake robots? Are you one with the machines? What aren't you telling us, Dane? I need to know if I'm secretly living with a robot. Don't feel like that's too much to ask for. Just the knowledge. Totally real Spice and Rose bot said it best. It's not real. This isn't real. There is no Spice and Rose bot. A, Spice Bot isn't real. B, Spice Bot can't hurt you. C, Spice Bot isn't real. I feel like I would know if there was a Spice Bot. Now you're just making your own bot. Did you take it upon yourself to be the robot, Dane? But yes, also give Ashwood audio love if you are here and somehow do not know of him. He does quality dad content with D&D. I'm just saying, the Power Wash and Barbecue Simulator stream is still one of the hardest times I've laughed in the past, like, 6 months. So good. We never have fun. Oh, we have fun here. Yeah, you're my mod, but you're not my robot. Yeah, the gorilla mode where you guys were trying to, like, raise this gorilla child and it went horribly, horribly wrong. Peak comedy, I would say. Beep boop. Well, now you're just playing Rob from Smash. Which, by the way, Dane, every week on the Nintendo Online app on the Switch, you can redeem my Nintendo point coins to, like, get pieces to build new profile badges and stuff. And this week is a bunch of Rob stuff in there. So if you need to make a trolley Rob, badge for yourself, you can. The power is in fact yours. You can relive your Smash Brothers glory days. Cheers every time you play Smash as Rob. Just horrible and terrifying in all of the best ways. Also, I found it funny with the Nintendo Direct that, like, 3 of the games they announced for the N64 app are Mario Party games. I'm like, do they just want to murder families? Like, they just want to kill all joy in the world? They're like, you had a good year to play games like Mario 64 and Legend of Zelda and Banjo-Kazooie. But now you must fight your friends to the death all the time and really hate how they play and walk away not friends anymore. Yeah, GoldenEye. Pokemon Stadium I'm excited for. But I am curious how they're going to pull that off, because so much of Pokemon Stadium content was reliant on connecting your Game Boy to it. Because I played it once as a kid because I rented it from, like, an Albertsons. And yeah, you couldn't do much in that game. Like, you could play with the rental Pokemon, but there wasn't much else you could do. Some of the mini games, I guess. I wonder if they're going to integrate it with Pokemon Home, so that maybe you can move your Pokemon over from Pokemon Home into Stadium. If it just will lock you to only using the 151 or however many were in Gold Silv. But yeah, I have no idea how they're going to pull that off, because so much of that is just entirely reliant on being able to bring your own Pokemon in. So we'll see. I keep hoping someday they'll announce Snowboard Kids for the N64 app. I do really love Snowboard Kids. All in all, some really exciting announcements yesterday. I also haven't watched the PlayStation State of Play, but that doesn't affect me as much as I don't really use PC or PlayStation for my gaming. Like I do, but not to anywhere near the same effect as I do Nintendo. Like, I still use my 3DS. It's still probably my favorite. I'm not sure if it's my favorite system of all time, but potentially by hours played on it alone, it might be. Kids, remember to make extra layers. Oh well. Soften all this up a bit. Still get a little bit sad when we go to convention, like there's no one to street pass anymore. I'm like, oh man, it's the end of an era. Okay, that's good. Let's go back to this plant. it's not a Christmas song. It's very close to wanting to be a Christmas song. But no one can say one way or the next if it actually is a Christmas song. I know some of them are. I just... Until next year? Oh, yeah, nope, it has candy canes on the album art. It's totally a Christmas song. Entirely sweet, jazzy Christmas. Just kind of exciting. Yeah, I just put the whole playlist on shuffle, so it worked out. It worked out for me. Alright, time is it? 10 o'clock? Okay, I think that's a good spot to try to take a break. What layer am I on? This layer. Going to quickly darken up a little bit of this. Actually, let's make this over to the red part. Just to give a bit more depth to this section right here. To give a bit more contrast to that particular plant. I suppose I could also... I don't like that. Darken up some of the lines and parts too. Also give a little bit more depth to some of these parts. Help them stand out a little bit more. Alright, I think when we come back, we need to work on this plant right here. He's looking a little flat. This cat is flat. I've been thinking about playing with maybe changing background color on the flooring because there's just a lot of green right here and it's all sort of blending in together. So I may try to match it to one of these blues that's happening. But yeah, we need to do the plant, the cat, Indigo in the background, maybe change our flooring, and then keep working on some of the detail work over here with the bookcase. And then eventually we're going to fix this and add in the actual lighting. So, for now, I am going to take a quick break. So, if you want to stick around for about 5 minutes, you're more than welcome to. If you got to head out, I understand that too. And I will be back at about, we'll say between 10:10, 10:05, somewhere in that vicinity. And if Christmas music comes on while I'm gone, I'm mildly sorry, but also enjoy it, because Christmas is coming for us all. So yeah, be right back. Alright, I have returned. How many sounds of Christmas have I missed? I kinda wanna just like change it to the Christmas album now just to be obtuse. At least one. Oh, Agbu! Hi, buddy! Welcome. How is, school going? Being a bona fide teacher. Doing the teaching stuff now. Where even is the Christmas album on this thing? Oh, that's where it starts. You know what? Yeah. Why not? It's my channel. None of these are actual Christmas songs. They're just Christmas-ish. Welcome to listening to Bobtails, written by Stream Beats by Harris Hiller. Bobtails comes from the album Candy Shop, which was released December 29th, 2021. You will notice, interestingly, that it was released 4 whole days after Christmas. mostly pretty well. Only 1 class out of 6 have shown themselves to be shitheads. Hey, that's a pretty good ratio with teenagers. When you get the good ones, man, it shows you how wonderful it can be. For freshmen, it's awesome. I need to charge Glowcat soon. Glowcat's losing his glow. Thankfully, he's a USB Glowcat. Yeah, I've actually been really impressed by, like, the teens I get at work, just because, like, they're young. They're very young. I think the oldest I have is maybe they're 15, 16, I don't know. But they're, like, so with it. They're just not assholes. It's great. I love it. They're very conscientious and, you know, care about people's pronouns and care about things like, you know, we offer snacks for when D&D meets, and they're like, hey, can we get, you know, some options that maybe would be a bit easier on your guys' budget or the environment or something like that. Like, they're just super nice. And I know I already have home field advantage because I'm offering them D&D, which already is going to bring in, you know, some top crop individuals, if you will. Yeah, it is always nice when you get some good kiddos in. Oh, what color? Do I actually want that to be yellow? Do red and then it would, yeah. Grab that red. So yeah, as you can see, I'm back to this thing. Technically, this piece is due tomorrow, but the mod team has been super amazing, and I told them that this weekend is the largest event of the year at my work, and they're like, you know what, take a few extra days. It's okay. We'll be here. So, shout out to the Awakening Trio mod team for understanding that life happens, and for being amazing individuals. To be fair though, I have actually worked with this team before. There was a Fire Emblem zine I did last year, and I worked with them on that. The current high school generation is far more aware of topics than mine. Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, the way I hear the kids talk in and around work, like, not even just the D&D teens, just in general, people are way more conscientious and aware of each other, and also have this really good sort of mindset of, it's not quite we over me, but it is very close to that, which I think is great. What the heck is that on? Oh, no, it's probably on the lines layer. Yup. No, not keep erasing. Thank you. But yeah, it's really cool to see. You know, I do think, speaking as a millennial, our generation did have a lot of good strides when it came to thinking about things differently from the status quo, like understanding that sexuality and gender is a scale and things like that. Or just, you know, learning to not be assholes to each other. But seeing how the teens react. Like, they're just way more on fire for it. And it gives me hope, you know? It gives me hope for the future. Yeah, I do not envy the fact that you deal with parents, Agbu. I have heard from many of the teachers in my life that the parents, the kids can be great, but the parents are typically the hardest part of the job. And you don't need to go into details or anything, God no. But I have heard, like, it's not like I don't have interactions with parents at my job too, but it tends to be a lot more subdued. Like, I'm not giving their kids grades, I'm just telling them how to make a craft while they wait for their parents to come pick them up, you know? It's a much different atmosphere. And I think in general, libraries get a little bit of an easier time in that regard. Because we're not a facility you have to go to, we're still kind of... Yeah, I would say libraries are still kind of a luxury facility. Because they're not a have to go to, like, they're a want to go to situation. Also, if you didn't know and if you had interest, Agbu, this Friday, I think they're going to have the conferences available afterwards, is the Comic Arts Fest Educators Day. So they're doing all of their panels at the the State Museum in Julia Davis Park. And they have their list of panels online, but if you want to get a recording or try to attend virtually, I think they have a way to facilitate that. Primary chem teacher got in trouble because she showed a slideshow showing LGBTQ students getting harassed more than non... So she showed the truth and people got mad? I don't know, man. I just... How do you argue with... Like, how in good consciousness do you... Man, things are whack. Sometimes. Just don't understand people. I'm gonna tell you this very factual thing that has been well researched and shown time and time again. I'm gonna get mad about it. Doesn't fit in with my world, so I'm gonna get mad. Go off, I guess, but... Yeah, hats off to all the teachers. Took it all the way to... Of course they took it to the school board. Of course they did. Of course they did. Yeah, hats off to all the teachers, because y'all do not have easy jobs. Especially anyone working K through 12 teaching. Like, I hear university teaching, of course, has its own challenges, trials, and tribulations, but nothing like what K through 12 has to put up with. It's phenomenal. Bright yellow for that base. There we go. Do sort of a sunset ombre on this spot. Yeah, that's nice. Also, you know, big props to any teacher wanting to be a teacher right now. It's probably one of the most thankless jobs, thankless industries at the moment. And that's hard. deal with. But regardless of all that, I am glad your classes are going well. I'm glad your students seem to be, by and large, a good bunch. Like, I know this isn't your first time teaching, but like, this is your first time as an official teacher, so it's pretty exciting. Do they do anything special at your school when you're a new teacher? Like, I assume you're at the same high school that you were doing all your student teaching and stuff like that, but like, did they do anything special to like congratulate you on your teacher's license? Did they like throw a big party for the new teacher hires or do anything of the sort like that? Because I feel like that would be cool, you know? Showing people that you're happy they're there and stuff like that. We get a mentor who's been teaching us. They do new teacher orientation and has introduced ourselves the first week. Were there a lot of new teachers? Or just a handful? This. And just start adding in some wispies. Showing some striation. Get some depth in there. And just mixy, mixy, mix, 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 mix. 60-ish? Oh, whole district. Okay, okay, okay. I'm like, wouldn't 60 be an entire school? Which, depending on the area you're in, might be possible. Because a lot of places are scrambling to hire teachers, of course, because it's a hard job. Half of those are special ed. Okay. Do you view that many being in special ed as like a good thing, like they're expanding the program, or is it just they're having such a hard time retaining those teacher roles that they just had to hire that many people? Because I know your area of the valley like is growing quite a lot, like pretty fast. Because like if that's like adding in extra positions because of like natural growth, that's always really cool to see. But it's also difficult if it's because, you know, things are hard on everybody. What does that sound to me? Aw! Cat rating with a party of 3! Hello, cat and friends! Welcome to watching me color plants. My name is Spice and Rose. I am an artist, as you can, you can probably piece together. I also do gaming content. Right now I'm mostly streaming just on Wednesday nights until my schedule kind of evens out a little bit. I'm primarily a traditional media artist. This is one of the few first pieces I've done all digital, so I'm learning a lot in this whole scenario. So if you want to relax, take a sit, you're more than welcome to. We're just kind of moving and grooving around these parts. Let's see, we need a full second high school. Wow. Can't get, of course you can't get it if you need to pay for it. Why do we pay for education, Agbu? Yo, how goes the art? It goes. It's tiring. I've been working, I feel like I've been working on this piece for absolute weeks. And I'm kind of getting there. I feel like very comfortably I'm in like the 75-80% range of being done with it. But it's just a lot of small details that I still need to do. But we're getting there. We are getting there. Eventually. How'd your raid go? What'd you do tonight? And Miss Drawing on the iPad is very satisfying. It is satisfying. It's interesting how the same, but how different the applications are. Just because I'm so used to, you know, being able to see the full image in front of me, for one, instead of zooming in on these tiny, tiny pieces and being like, okay, what am I actually doing with my life right now? But yeah, it's been a good learning experience, I'll tell you that much. There's a lot of fun parts to it. Purple side, down. It's beautiful. We played some Devil May Cry tonight. Stream was winding down and I was getting tired, so I decided to call it. Yeah, I get that. It's kind of a sleepy night. I have never played any of the Devil May Cry games, but I hear they are super freaking good. I think one of my friends here locally has just been like going back through a binge of them because they love the game so much, which it's always one that's kind of been on my I'll get to it someday list. I do plan on doing that. Is it the first one, or are you playing a different one in the series? Just working on my this and stuff. Sound effects is in fact part of the job. I don't make the rules, I just work here. Go back to just white. And yes, this is like Christmas adjacent song, but it's not quite Christmassy. We're sticking with it. Because reasons. Playing the one for the PS5. Okay. I bet that's very pretty to look at. Some red. gently. Make sure we're on the right layer. There we go. That's what I wanted. Just a little bit on the tips. I will say, I think the thing I enjoy the most about learning the Procreate way of drawing is just having access to every imaginable color in the rainbow, because I primarily work with acrylic paints and markers, and of course you're limited to what you have on hand or what you can afford to buy, so being able to be like, yes, today I want to work in cerulean blue and cerulean blue only, and having, you know, access to that without even trying is amazing. Very eyegasmic. It's one of those games where it doesn't take itself too seriously, so it's very funny at times. Alright, I'm gonna say it dumb. Are the Devil May Cry teams and the Bayonetta teams at all related? Or do they just both exist in this subgenre of very sexy, mildly grim-dark protagonist and world with cheeky humor infused? Kuna believes they should be a one high school town, but we have 2K students. Whew, and a high school design for 1600. Man alive. Yeah, Kuna is not a one high school town anymore. Not even remotely. Oh, Kuna. Kuna's just gonna be Kuna. That's just how it be, unfortunately. This a bit darker. Don't like that color. It needs shading, but doesn't need like a lot of blending or anything because it'll never show anyways, so don't even bother. Just kind of nice. It's kind of relaxing to be like, eh. Because like, this guy's skin took forever. And it's not ever going to come across on the webcam because it's a screen to a screen. But there's like 25 different shades of peach and bluish peach and yellowish peach and so much in there just to get this level of complexity. Like, I probably need to go over it again in a slightly darker. Okay, no, not until all this is done and I get to the light layers. Not doing it. I'm not doing that to myself. I'm just gonna hyperfixate and then like pull away and be like, well, it didn't change anything. Aw, oh, jeez. Wonder how I got here, guys. I know exactly how I got here. Watch it happen. They're genre adjacent for sure, but not related. Okay. Goofy as hell sometimes. Yes, Dane, how are you? Are you still acting as a robot? Or have you found yourself again? The mug. So the joke here, for those wondering, I have never set up a chatbot. I don't know how. It's something I should learn and look into. I am just proud of myself for setting up a whole new overlay and new emotes and stuff like that, and learning how to do that tonight before stream, because that's when you do things, right? Right before stream, and definitely not planned ahead of time, because that would make sense. So the joke has been that Dane wants to do shoutout commands, but he can't because they don't exist. So he's been taking it upon himself to basically be his own robot. And yeah. Yep. Tonight we've learned Dane is a robot, and there's nothing any of us can do about it. He has become the chatbot, if you will. Wider version of this. For Inigo is a very pale man. So yes, this is a Fire Emblem Awakening themed piece that I've been working on for a zine publication. And the zine focuses on the characters Inigo, Owain, and Severa from Fire Emblem Awakening. And yeah, Inigo is very light-skinned, so he doesn't need much in terms of highlights and lowlights. Good luck indeed. Is it already 25k in CUNA now? Jesus. I think we've long suspected. Hair like that just isn't natural. He does have beautifully flowing locks, it's true. About to pass out. Yeah, go rest up, Cat. Enjoy resting and enjoying life, and thank you for stopping in. And I hope to see you again soon, whether it be here or at your stream or a mutual stream. But yeah, go cozy up, go enjoy, take a load off. Streaming is hard work. So, what's really funny right now to me, I have Streamlabs on my computer that's set up like this way behind me, behind my shoulder. So I have Dane's letting me borrow his iPad so I can read chat without having to like turn around every time. But because it's not really attached to an account, it has like the, you know, auto-censoring thing going on, because you can't read bad words on the internet unless you say, yes, I want to read the bad words. So some of the things it has censored out in the past 5 minutes. So when Dane said, I'm being your robot, the only thing that came through on chat was, I'm being. So your robot was entirely censored out. And then when Agbu, next line down, says, I think we've all long suspected that Dane was your robot, it once again censored out your robot. And so I'm very confused about why this is the way it is. That why Twitch is like, nope, no one can know someone is someone else's robot. We must censor that out. Our robot overlords will be most upsetty spaghetti. They are never allowed to know. It's very weird and arbitrary choice. Makes zero sense. No one must know that someone is a robot in this chat. I think it's just Dane using his robotic powers to hide the truth. Yeah, probably. Dane, you have to tell people the truth. They're supposed to know. You can't hide the fact if you're a robot forever. It's not how this works. So, the yellow. Blendy, 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 blendy. Oops. That is not what I want. This, a little bit here, a little bit there, then buff that all in. Beep boop. Yeah, so Dane only plays troll characters in Smash Brothers. And he's gonna fight me on this for about 3 seconds when he's free. But he legitimately only plays troll characters in Smash. And that includes, Rob, the robot. Oh, you do. You absolutely do. You play Rob. You play you play Wii Fit Trainer. I'm saying you play Rob. You play Wii Fit. Every Fire Emblem character is a troll character. You cannot dissuade me from that. But most importantly, you play Rob and you play Wario. And you might think, I'm not sure if Wario's a troll character. You'd be wrong. Wait, what got censored out? What got censored out? You are a liar got entirely censored out. That entire line is asterisks. The charlatan says the Peach. I'm not really. I'm a Peach like sub main. I do play a lot of DDD. Wario is, so is Rob. Fire Emblem Cloud aren't. 1v1 me final stage. I don't want to. You're actually a good Smash player. I was good in the N64 era, and it has not been that for a very long time. But I definitely suffer from the I love fighting games, but I'm absolute garbage at them part of life. It sucks. Make that brighter. Yeah. That's a happy little goldenrod. We'll use that. It's a good color. Buff that in. So yeah, every time Dane says he is a chatbot or a robot, I just... 'cause like, it's not so much the characters that he plays, so much as how he plays them. So when he's playing Wii Fit Trainer, he shouts fitness a lot. Just shouts fitness when he's throwing volleyballs at your head. When he's playing Rob, he picks a corner. What did it censor? Okay, alright. Fucking I understand why that got censored out. The rest I don't understand why they got censored. DDD is pure skill, bro. You're just mad. But when Dane plays Rob, he picks a side of the stage. And all he does is say beep boop and shoots lasers at you and shoots spinning tops at you. Is an absolute menace. Just absolute menace. That's the Dane Smith experience. He is a menace. Yeah, that needs to be blended out darker. Okay. Take it down. Blip, blip, blip. Blip, 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 blip. Blip, 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 blip. Blip, 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 blip. We're gently just gonna... I said. Gonna tap this in. Tippity tappity. There we go. Also, if I am shaking the camera, I am so sorry. My elbow is right on the tripod. Because there's like no good way to get this zoomed in without an awkward seating position. So my apologies. I don't mean to. Just sometimes life be like that. Better. Alright. Let's work on this beverage that he is precariously holding. And tippity tappity. Go back to a deeper color around this inside part of the rim. And we'll go as bright as possible. Right through y'all. Sweet, that'll work. Let's do a bit on his hair. Over again. Yep, that's the color I want. Because in the official art, he kind of has grayish, bluish hair. Of course, his hair can be any color dependent on the actual game, since in Awakening, hair color was determined by the mom, though the character was determined by the father. And then in Fates, they made it so the child you got was determined by the mom, I thought? No, I have that backwards. Because Inigo is Olivia's son no matter what, so his hair color comes from his father. But in Fates, it's the dads who determine what kid character it is. That's right. I do like me some Fire Emblem. I will be honest though, so I did the Fire Emblem zine last year. And I'm kind of proud of the work, but not really. I wasn't happy with how 2 of my drawings turned out. So I never really shared them anywhere, which is kind of silly in a lot of ways, but I am really happy with how this one's turning out. And I'm actually kind of apt to share it and spread it around and show people, yes, I did this thing. I'm actually proud of it. Like, they were okay. It was a series of, I can't remember if it was 4 or 6 drawings I did. Because everything for that zine was Arthurian Legends themed, which is really cool, which is why I signed on, because the idea of it was incredible. And it was 3 houses based. So the characters, I worked with an author with their story, and the characters I drew were from the 4th house, the Ashen Wolves. I actually like bought the DLC because I hadn't played it yet, just so I could figure out who these characters were, which was a lot of fun. Because I hadn't had a. I play Fire Emblem very hard, and then I burn out, and then I have to take a long extended break, and then maybe, just maybe, I will come back and work on those other routes and other scenarios, because each run is, you know, 100+ hour commitment, right? And so there was several drawings I did, and I think they worked very well, especially considering the theme of the book, and some of the people on that team are on this team too. So obviously they enjoyed what I did well enough to invite me back, which is very nice of them. But yeah, I never really showed that work because I wasn't very happy with it, which is, you know, kind of silly, but we all do silly things. This has also been a challenging piece. I never feel confident in my figure drawing. Partially because I'm more trained as background, environment, and object. So like, I really enjoy drawing like items and things like you would find in a video game and stuff like that. And I don't really feel confident in my figure drawing at all, to be real. But this has been a good experience. Learning new tools, working on something that maybe I don't feel the most confident in, but I'm pretty happy with how it's going, so not the worst. Not the worst way to spend a Wednesday night. Let's add a bit more of this dark blue in here. Maybe not there, but start here. Around the ear for contrast. Alright, that's pretty good for the hair. Add bit of extra up here. There's supposed to be like morning-ish sun coming in, so bit of highlighting that sort of works with that idea. Okay. On to the shirt. Aren't all Smash character trolls? I mean, yeah, kind of. The whole game is like, how big of a troll can you... It was not censored at all, even with the capitalization. None of that was censored. It's mostly censoring Dane. Especially anytime he talks about being or not being a robot. In specific. Which I'll be honest, I'm not sure if this means the robot overlords do or do not accept him. Hard to say, really. But if blank, shouldn't they be accepting of his trolling ways? But if, what did it say? If he's a robot, why does it keep censoring anything to do with robots? I don't understand. Maybe this is their way of, like, initiating him. Trolling the robot and seeing how upsetty he gets about it. Which I don't know if, like, a true robot would or would not be upset about being denied being able to say they're a robot. I don't know the robot decorum here. Like, yeah, I'm at a loss. I'm not up and up on my robot social practices. Blendy, blendy, blendy. Is it Bendy in the ink machine or Blendy on the iPad? No one knows. Angry beeping intensifies. Are these angry beeps to chill and relax too? Chill beeps and boops to uprise to? Is that the name of the game? The robot uprising has begun. Is the word bot censored? What about android or droid? No, none of those were censored. Bot is fine. Android is fine. Droid is fine. It is robot in specific that has been censored out. Nope, not that big. Just robot. But when you... Okay. But when you type just robot, that's not censored. Just robot isn't censored. It's specifically when it has to do with whether or not Dane is a robot. Then it gets censored. Yeah, look how that turned out. Dane is a robot. That did not come out censored. That one came out fine. Cowboy Bebot also came out fine. It has to do with like the word "your." Like it thinks you're accusing me and being mean, so it's like, no, you don't get to see this message. Which I guess is fine. Safety tools exist for a reason. I just find it very funny if that's what was going on. Dane is... Oh, it censored that. Okay. Dane is your robot. So if you type in, like, your bot, your droid, or type in my robot, will it censor those out? Welcome to Spice Stream, where we figure out what robots are censored and which robots are allowed. No, those came through just fine. I don't understand. Dane is a robot, confirmed. Dane is your robot is too scandalous. Too much for Twitch to handle. Right there, that's the good stuff. Actually, let's just go ahead and add in some wheat. Get some of our highlighting and low lighting in. Booey. Maybe it just has to do what Dane is. Your bot, my robot, and your robot. None of those are censored. Maybe you try like Dane is your, and then like other nouns in there. Ooh, that one was completely censored. What's that? What's that? What's that? Oh, your Roblox is fine. Your robot is not. Dane is your friend. That one's fine. This is such a mystery. I just want to understand. Sleep. Go back to nice yellow color. Whoops. That's too much. It's much too much. Just get a little bit. That nice. Morning glow. Dane is your friend. Hack. Dane is your friend robot, that's fine. Dane is your Twitch bot, also fine. All of these have been fine. That nice. Nice warm lighting in there. Freshen things up. Good morning glow, you know? Good start to the day. Definitely no robots here to worry about. Or are there? Dear Twitch TOS, one of my mods might be an actual robot. What do I do? An event of robot, what do? Let's work on his pants. And then once his pants are done, I think I'll call it for the night. Oh, that's why. So what I need is to go back to this. Oh, it has to be way darker than that, okay. Opposite direction. And get some of this in here. It's probably a little bit more red. Ooh. There are some sensors. Okay. What is that? Dane, sensor. After all, is just a series of. Ooh. Dane, after all, is just a series of what? Dane, you are not a robot after all, just a series of asterisks. Well played, Agboo. Well played. Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, good news, Dane. You're not a robot, just asterisks. Congratulations. Is that better or worse? No one knows. That's really funny. I just want to know who at Twitch AQ, when they're making all of these, like, banned words people can't use. They're like, we can't have people calling each other robots. People will riot. Wars will be fought in the streets. Can't have that. Which one am I on? Studio pen. That's what I want. The rest of these punts. Go and change the slider and then I change the brush. Change your brush first, then change the slider. No! I refuse to do nothing less than the same thing twice in a row. That's my nindo, my ninja way. On that note, bid you adieu, have a great night. Yeah, have a great night, Agbu. Thank you for playing the weirdest version of censorship hangman I think I've ever seen in my life. Rest well, don't let the kids eat you alive, and we will talk to you soon. Mixie, mixie, mixie. Nope. Pant mixie goes that way. We get very dark. There we go, that's what I want. Just a little bit of that around the butt, a little bit of that on the back of the pants, and we mix. Mix, 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 mix. A little bit. Okay, changing pens. A little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit underneath. Make sure the booty be high and tight. Always gotta make the booty high and tight. That's just facts. Go over to redder color. There we go. That's what I like more. And we go back to mixing. Up, booty. Alright. Now we can go back to our highlights. Like so. And back to mixing. Mix, 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 mix. Mix, mix, mix. Welcome to my hot new remix, mix, 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 mix. Alright. Kinda need a mid-tone, so drop it down a little bit. A little bit darker. Here and over here. get that highlight. Gonna make that booty go pop. Adding some light here, 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 and right through there. My wrist is really starting to hurt, which means it's about time to quit for the night. Remember to listen to your body, kids, because you don't want to damage your hands. That's not the color I want. That's the color I want. Go back to... Ooh, what does that mean? Aww. Hey, buddy. That is a name I haven't seen in a little bit. How are you, man? Also, thank you, you absolute... person. You cryptid. Absolute cryptid. Yes, a wild cryptid has appeared. Welcome to Spice and Rose, where we have cryptids and robots, but the chat will never let you know if someone's actually a robot. Because it'll keep censoring that out. You're tired? Yeah, I imagine. I imagine, good friend. Being in the woods, being a Bigfoot is not easy business. You have pretty good timing too, because I'm getting close to quitting for the night. Because I too am tired. I'm trying to make the booty pop, and the booty not popping the way I want it to pop, so I have to keep working on the booty until the booty pop. You understand? It's a conundrum. Just want the booty to go pop so I can stop. Yeah, I don't think I've told you yet. So, my plan for these streaming ventures is to make Wednesday night my primary, and to start that at like, around 8 Mountain Time, and then Sundays, if they happen, cool. If not, oh no. Because for example, this weekend's BCAF, so it's all hands on deck. I think it just needs more pop. Exactly. Because once you pop, the fun don't stop, right? Let me make that bigger, that's why. Whoop, nope, too big. Oh god, too big. Oh god. That was not what I wanted. Twas the opposite of what I wanted. This. Bit here. And up here. There we go. That's a bit more what I want. Once the booty pops, the booty don't stop. It's true. It's actually very dangerous. Like, you thought Pringles was the most dangerous poppin' that could happen in the world. It's not. It's the booty pop. These are hard facts that people have been trying to warn us about for years, and yet none of us have ever listened. Will any of us ever listen? Probably not. I mean, why heed a warning when you can go headlong first into danger and adventure? I was pleasantly surprised to see you online. Yay! I am also often surprised to see myself online anymore. I've always called my favorite poppin' Prings? Oh no. Don't make that a thing, dude. Or do, you know? You're living a new life. You do you. Oh, I knew, as in Pringles. The assumption was there. It's entirely there. Do this. A little of that under booty highlight. And I accidentally cleared my palette because I wasn't paying attention. Now, why would I do that? Alright. The red scale. There's one poppin' pring. God damn it. Well, that's a thing now that I'll be thinking about to the end of time. Be in the retirement home, like, at one time I saw someone drop it low and bust a pring. Sure thing, Miss Lynch. We know, we've heard it all before. Yeah, we absolutely believe you. 100% that was a thing they said back in the day. No one said it back in the day. Underbooty, what are you working on? Yeah, aside from butts, this is the... Let's see if I can... If you're motion sick, I apologize. So here's where we are in its totality. This is a Fire Emblem themed piece for a zine I'm working with. It's beautiful. I see what you did there. So if you played Fire Emblem Awakening, the two characters are Indigo and Owain from that one. And yeah, I have to have it done as soon as humanly possible. There is also a cat, because kitties. Kitties are great. And so I add them to everything when I can. I could probably add a bit more brighter yellow to that highlighting. Wait, what layer am I on? Okay, that's the layer I actually want. The amount of times I've messed up my layers tonight. Okay, that's how big that is. It's too much. There we go. That's it. That's what I wanted right there. So yeah. Yeah, new Fire Emblem. I am very conflicted in how I feel about the new Fire Emblem. Because on the one hand, I'm excited because it's Fire Emblem. On the other hand, I am concerned because... So, like... Couple things here. First of all, I enjoy that it is a new fully 3D Fire Emblem because we need more of those in the world, and they're all great and amazing and should be loved accordingly. But the character designs don't really do much for me, and that's fine. They don't have to. It's more about the characterization than the designs. But mostly, I don't necessarily like the mechanic that you use past Fire Emblem protagonists as Pokemon on the battlefield. And the reason why isn't because I don't like that mechanic itself. It's because it's essentially the premise of Fire Emblem Heroes. In Fire Emblem Heroes, you're a young lord who, to save your kingdom, summons great heroes